Chapter 13, at the end of the day. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen at the end of the day. The routine for after school is that Uncle Weldon picks me up at 2:42 p.m. and drops me off at my house between 2:58 and 3:01. Rain always greets me by jumping up and down when I open the door, licking my hands and face, and sometimes barking. Usually after that, we sit on the porch for a while. But if it's rainy or chilly, then we do not sit on the porch. At the end of school day number 35, we do not sit on the porch. So what can you infer about that? It's foggy and cool, so we take a walk that lasts only 6.5 minutes. Rain pulls at her leash when I try to turn her around, and I know that she would like to take a longer walk, but it's too damp and muddy for that. I'm going to look through the box, I say as Rain reluctantly follows me back to our yard. What box? And ooh, what context clues can you use to figure out the word reluctantly? On a shelf in the coat closet is a box, a hat box. The top and bottom are held together by a white satin braid. The braid is fraying, which leads me to believe that the box and the braid are old. Also, the box used to be blue, but over the years, that blue has faded to a lighter and lighter shade, and now it's a pale gray. Inside the box are things that belonged to my mother before she left. My father doesn't care if I look through the things, so I look through them approximately every 4 months, which is 3 times a year. 4 times 3 equals 12. I drag a chair to the closet, reach up high for the box, and lift it down carefully. I set it on the kitchen table. Before I open the box, I study the outside of it to see if I can find any clues to my mother. But there's nothing. The box always looks the same, except that the color gets lighter and the braid gets fuzzier. I wish my mother had written something on the box, something like, "These things are important to me," or "Gifts for Rose," or even just "treasures." But there are no words or clues of any sort. I don't even know if the box belonged to my mother or if it's just some box my father found for storing her things. My father won't talk about the box or its contents anymore. I wonder why the dad doesn't talk about it. I slide the braid aside, remove the top of the box, and look in at the familiar items. One by one, I take them out. I set them on the table in a row from left to right. I always start with the necklace that has a silver bird's nest hanging from it. Inside the nest are 3 pearls that are fake and are supposed to be birds' eggs. What does the necklace say about my mother? Maybe that she's a person who likes birds, or birds' nests, or birds' eggs? Next, I take out the seashell that looks like a tan cone and is called an auger. My mother must like augers too. She likes birds, birds' nests, birds' eggs, and augers. The third item I take out is a photo of a black cat. Written on the back of the photo is Midnight. I don't remember having a cat or any pet before my father brought Rain home. I study the cat some more. My mother likes birds, birds' nests, birds' eggs, augers, photos, and black cats named Midnight. After the photo, I examine 2 pens. The first is a little silver R for Rose. I wonder why my mother didn't take that with her. But maybe she didn't want to be reminded of me. After all, she left my father and me, so why would she want to think about us? The second pen is the kind called a hat pen. I know these things about the pens because when I was very small, sometimes my father would look through the box with me and tell me about the items in it. He won't do that now, but he used to, and that is how I know that the R stands for Rose and that the second pen is a hat pen. It looks like a very big needle, and attached to the end where the head of a pen should be is a tiny clock. The clock doesn't work. The hands are just painted on. They point to 7:15. Once I asked my father if there was any reason the clock reads 7:15. He said no. I wonder if my mother likes homonyms. I wonder if she likes prime numbers or rules or words. I wonder if she left because I like those things. The last items in the hat box are a nickel with a buffalo on it, a tiny square of newspaper announcing that Elizabeth Parsons wed Wesley Howard in the First Presbyterian Church in Hatford, the hospital bracelet I wore when I was born, and a scarf with a picture of a rose on it. I wish I knew more about my mother. I do know what she looks like. There are 2 pictures of her on the table by the couch. But I wish I knew something else besides the fact that she likes birds, birds' nests, birds' eggs, augers, Photos, black cats named Midnight, pens, the letter R, clocks, 7:15, nickels, buffaloes, her wedding announcement, my hospital bracelet, scarves, and roses. I look at the clock on the kitchen wall. I have 3 worksheets for homework tonight. It's time to start them and then start dinner. I put my mother's things back into the box in reverse order, starting with the scarf and ending with the necklace, and then I put the box back on the closet shelf. It's later, when I'm adding Rain's my pet dry food to her my pet wet food, that I turn on the radio and hear the weather forecaster say, approaching storm. Hurricane Susan is expected to make landfall in 3 days and will be of epic proportions, a superstorm that could become the storm of the century. So, I'm curious, why do you think Rose looks through the box every few months? And we know how she does it because she explains her procedure of taking everything out in order and laying it out on a table exactly in the order she takes it out, and then she puts it all back in backwards so that every single time she looks at it in the exact same order. So, do you think it helps? What do you think the reason is? Is she getting closer to her mom? Is that what she's trying to do? I don't know.